The smell of coffee is in the air. It must be time for another episode of The Art of Struggle. Welcome to another episode of my podcast called The Art of Struggle. You can hear me rant about art, video games, movies, CGI, the industry, and much, much more. My name is Fatai, and I'll be your guide as we explore the world of CG, pop culture, and the people who make it all possible. Alright, so yesterday we talked about 38 essential resources for game developers. Alright, so we went through just a brief recap. We went through pretty much what game design resources are available, programming, game art. A few of them would be like extra credit for game design, Udemy for programming, and 2D art for programmers, and open game art. So those are a few resources that you can do. If you want to hear the full episode, you can definitely check out the previous Art of Struggle episode. It's on YouTube, Facebook. I mean, it's pretty much everywhere at this point. It's Google Play, iTunes, Spotify. So you can check the previous episode out just to get the precursor to this episode. All right, so today we're going to talk about game music and sound effects. All right. So for that, there's a site called AudioTuts, and if you want to make your own game music, if you've got the time and patience, try out the tutorials to get you started. So AudioTuts has how to make different samples, different loops. It gives you like some terminology and stuff like that. So it's definitely a good source to check out. There's also SoundJ. You don't want to deal with recording sound effects, then check out SoundJ. There are dozens of different sound effects, and they are free to use. There's also stock music. If you don't fancy yourself a composer, then you might want to go ahead and purchase some music instead. Stock music has a wide variety of genres available, so hopefully you'll be able to find a few you like. So there's also LMMS. If you want to try your hand at creating your own stuff, LMMS is a free tool you can use on Windows, Linux, or Mac. It even offers instruments, plugins, and samples. All right. So the last one is DSK Music. If you need some more instruments to create that epic feel for your final boss fight, you can find most of them at DSK Music. And if you want to just compose your own stuff just from scratch, there's a program called Ableton. It's a little pricey, but I've heard some of the sound that people have programmed out of it, and it sounds amazing. Like, you can make movie scores, game scores, all kinds of stuff. I personally use Studio One for anything I'm creating musically, and it's a mix between Studio One, Adobe Audition, and I think that's pretty much it when it comes to sound for me. I'm not a sound expert by any means, any stretch of the phrase, but I mean, those are pretty easy to get started. Ableton costs, but Studio One is free. So those are other avenues that you can definitely check out. So for marketing, all right. So if you're a game developer and you need some help marketing, or you need some resources that could help you get better at marketing, Indie Game Girl. See, while she doesn't update her site much more, there's still a lot of great resources and information here, from how to create a great landing page for your game to creating a buyer persona. The creator now works at an indie game publisher, so you have her tips, and her stuff is definitely legit, because I mean, she pretty much does it for a living, so she can't really update the page as much. All right. So there's also Pixel Prospector Marketing Guide. This handy dandy guide covers the marketing cycle from initial conception of your game to release, and provides some excellent links to articles on each step. There's also a tiny build list of streamers. So Twitch streamers and YouTubers are the greatest influencers in the game industry today, hands down. Many people trust them over game journalists and reviewers. So if you want to get your game in front of a captive audience, this list will definitely help. Just prepare yourself for potential negative backlash if your game just isn't that good. So, here's the thing. You can't control people's actions. You can't control people's words. You can't control how people react. You know what I'm saying? Like you can give them a piece of art. You can give them, but you can't control their reaction. You can't control how they're gonna perceive the game. So I think it's your choice really. You figure out how you want to proceed, who you want to attack, or who you want to give your game to play or play test, and then they'll help you spread the word. And the organic spreading of the word for your game is super invaluable to just the marketing process. All right, so there's a big list of YouTubers. If you're not a fan of Twitch, then why not look to some of the top YouTubers? This list is a little out of date, so click on the link of the YouTuber you want to contact to make sure it's still the same person. All right. There's also HubSpot Marketing. While this doesn't focus specifically on game marketing, it is one of the leading blogs for marketing in general. This blog post can help you with your marketing strategy and up your content marketing game. All right. So there's also Press Kit, created by Romney Ismail, one of the co-founders of Vlambeer. This useful template lets you create a press kit template in under an hour. It also has seamless integration with their other app promoter and Google Analytics. All right. So there's also Promoter. If you've got a press kit, why not integrate it with Promoter? This app allows you to seamlessly track any press mentions, sends out Steam keys, and even provides event reminders. It's not free, but saves you a lot of time to focus on your game. All right. So there's last is IndieDB, which I have personally used before, an IndieDB game news site where you can submit your own game and have other game developers and indie game enthusiasts find it. If you follow all the rules, at least 5 pictures or a 30-second long video, you'll get featured on the first page. What does that mean for you? Well, you'll get your game in front of thousands of people. So don't underestimate the power of IndieDB and getting your game in the eyes of those consumers. So for forums, there is TIG Source. TIG Source is a great place to get some feedback and keep others updated on the latest updates to your PC or mobile game. All right. There's also Touch Arcade Forum, which is quite possibly the best place to post your work in progress if you're on iOS as a platform. The writers and editors of the site are in the forum often, so it could very well lead to a feature. There's also GameDev.net, another excellent resource for game developers to learn from each other, ask questions, and even find some people to work with. All right, there's a Game Dev subreddit, and this is a place you should definitely frequent if you're currently making a game. If you know how to work Reddit, then this is a great place to post your work in progresses, especially in the Screenshot Saturday thread. All right, so here's a few others. Here's a few bonus ones that probably haven't gotten a chance to talk about. So there is Promoter Calendar. Okay, so we already mentioned it above, but the calendar is another very handy tool as it shows you the deadlines for upcoming conventions and contents. So it's important for you to bookmark this page. So there's also game conferences, another great resource for game conferences around the world. So just any game conference that's coming up, or you can pull together a list and then do yourself a little circuit tour. Just buy passes, day passes. If you can buy a vendor booth, and promote your shit. Indie game jams. If you're looking to get some experience with game making and working well on tight deadlines, this site provides a comprehensive list of all the game jams going on. All right, so there's also one game a month. Need a bit more time to flesh out an idea? One game a month is for you. Like a game jam, you have a theme, but where you take it depends on you. All right, and last but not least, there's Score. Although there may not be game developers at Score, the mentors here can help guide you on the path to being a small business owner and provide some insight into marketing, business development, and much more. While most require you to go into the office, there are some that provide email or Skype meetings. So definitely use them. I've definitely used Score just to ask a few questions, get some feedback on how things work, how I should do stuff, and it's definitely been a helpful resource. All right, so on that, we're gonna move to the quote of the day. The quotes of the day. I do need a quieter mouse. It's very loud, clicky. Alright, so I'm going to give you guys some quotes about art. Alright? So Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, every artist was first an amateur. So stop trying to jump steps, alright, guys? You have to be an amateur before you can be a professional. You can't just go from regular Joe Schmo to professional. Henry Matisse once said, creativity takes courage. So be courageous. Pablo Picasso once said, every child is an artist. The problem is how to remain an artist once we grow up. Ansel Adams once said, you don't take a photograph, you make it. It kind of reminds me of Tolkien. One doesn't simply just walk into Mordor. But yeah. Thomas Merton once said, art enables us to find ourselves and lose ourselves at the same damn time. All right, for my favorite happy tree painter, Bob Ross said, we don't make mistakes, just happy little accidents. So place your happy little bush over there, a happy little bush over there, and you should be good to go. Horace once said, a picture is a poem without words. I'm going to leave you with a quote by Jerzy Kosinski. He said, the principles of true art is not to portray, but to invoke. So I invite you to invoke true art. Keep drawing, keep painting, keep sculpting, keep writing, keep programming, keep singing, keep dancing. Whatever your art form is, keep on doing it. Because the life you want is on the other side of your struggle. I like to think about it like this. In a video game, like if you play video games, you know you're going in the right direction when you have obstacles in your way, when you're encountering enemies. If you're going backwards, you're not encountering anything because you've already done that quest. You've already done what's behind you. You're done with that. So don't go backwards, go forwards. And when you realize you're going forward, you realize it because there are obstacles in your way. There are challenges, because that is what makes that's the essential code of life right there. Is that if you're going in the right direction, you're going to meet some obstacles. You're going to meet some challenges. You're going to meet some tough times. But your perseverance, your determination will determine your latitude. All right, I want to thank you for listening to another episode of The Art of Struggle. You can definitely watch any of these episodes on YouTube. You can definitely check out the podcast on iTunes, Pocket Casts, Anchor, Spotify. I say this every day, so I should have it memorized by now. But yeah, you can catch it anywhere. You can also follow me personally. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, I think. I just got Snapchat, but I don't use it that much, if I'm being 1,000 with you. I'm not very good at the snapping and the chatting. I'm just not. But I'm still going to try. I'm still going to give it a go. Give it the old college try. But yeah, thank you for listening to another episode. This is Ty on The Art of Struggle, signing out.